24 hours after the tragic incident, the government held a wreath-laying ceremony in honor of the gallant men.
Dr. Sarpong is a well-known NDC individual in the Ashanti region, and of course, the other individuals. Let me get to speak to more of the mourners who are coming through in their numbers. I can see the former Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. Alexander Akon, together with his deputy, and they are coming in here. Let me try and see if I can get a bite from the former Regional Minister and his deputy who have just come in here. Mr. Akon, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, we have been around, but for this occasion.
Yeah, a very solemn one, and of course, connected to the region, of course, is Dr. Sarpong. But I know that you have personal relationship with all of them. What will be your memory of the individual six that we are burying today?
Wow. Let him for ease start with Samuel Sarpong, because you know that I took over from him in the hierarchy of the Ashanti region, and Andy became my deputy. And Samuel, I've been with him for too long. He was at the Metro Chief Executive, when I was at Obuasi Municipal Chief Executive. And of course, I spoke to him the very day of the accident, around 7:40. And we normally speak almost every week. We speak. So I never anticipated that position. But the point is that I was proud to have got him in first, briefly as his deputy. Immediately I got to Kumasi, I had a brief 2 weeks relationship as a deputy minister. And the first comment was like, hey, oh, and then we waited around June 2014. And then subsequently, I took over from him. We have since gotten that level of relationship, even at the family level. So, of course, having spoken with him the very morning around 7:40, you can tell me that I was not expecting this thing to happen. He had told me that he was on his way to Obuasi and that we shall speak in the evening. So I was waiting for us to do our normal talk in the evening, and then we heard of this story. I'm so devastated because this is very unanticipated, but God knows better.
Let me also speak to Andy. Andy, what more do you remember of them?
For me, it's a tragedy that I cannot even explain, because in the sense that we were together, campaign times, together with my colleague here in the same vehicle, moving up and down every time, and then we did what we are able to do. And then more importantly, just the Saturday when we were seeing our brother Sampiel, I was with him, and we had our own conversations and stuff like that, expecting that we'll speak in the evening, only to hear the next Wednesday he's gone. So the shock, I cannot believe that. And again, Honorable Omane Boamah, he also facilitated the training program for appointees. He had a last bite with me at the edge there. Bro, we haven't met, let's meet. I said Friday. So Friday we'll meet, and this thing happened. So when I put all these things together, I can't just even say anything, but we give everything to God, and we pray that God will console us and be able to move forward as a government and as a people. We also sympathize with their families and the wives and the children. And pray that God will grant us all the grace to be able to see them off today, and pray that at the right time, God will show up. Thank you.
Very difficult time, but maybe second, offer some few words before you take your seat.
Just like my brothers have said, I've known Sarpong for a long time, and during the elections, it's myself, Okra, that sat in the car every time just going through Ashanti region. He's a man of compassion, a man of love, and a man of wisdom. This comes as a shock to all of us, for all the 8 people, and we're going to miss them. We pray that God will keep his soul, and his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and of course,
you know some of Obuasi are the boss's stock, so there's that close affinity when you almost won the seat, and still under very good circumstances where we think we won. And it pains me because, like Omane Boamah, they are youngsters who are peaking, and I thought they had the potential to go that length. RIP to all of them. We'll give them
just final thoughts before you go. I mean, some have suggested that we shouldn't just bury them and go to sleep, but the reason why they were on their way to Obuasi should be something that the whole nation must come together and bring finality to it.
Well, there's a purpose for every meeting they do, and it couldn't have been organized without a purpose. So I agree with you that the purpose should be realized eventually. In their memory, I think it should be done. They could not sacrifice for nothing. So I guess it should be done.
Thanks so much, sir, for speaking to us. And I'll go and find you. So hopefully, we'll speak more after. And of course, that the former Ashanti Regional Minister also sharing his memory of especially Mr. Samuel Sarpong and of course Abuaje. So we've got another member of parliament here. The Volta Regional Minister, sir, it's good to see you, and of course you've come in under a very difficult circumstances. How well did you know the individuals we are interring them today?
Yeah, thank you very much. Honorable Omane Boamah is somebody that I have worked closely with when he was election director for our party and as regional secretary for the Volta region and the coordinator of the 2024 elections. We work closely. Actually, he's one person that brought his experience and expertise as a medical practitioner to bear on our electoral architecture. And also, he was able to demystify this perception or rumors that NDC could not, collate its elections in 2020. So when it came to the 2024 election, it was like a medical officer taking the whole election system to a laboratory to diagnose and found a solution and made recommendations as to what to do, especially with regards to ballot accounting and other things that could help us win the elections. And in fact, he did very well. And I mean, just some few weeks ago, we had we had an orientation at the presidency, for ministers of state. And in fact, one minister that served as a resource person, even though the orientation was meant for the ministers of state, one among us served as a resource person, and that was Dr. Omane Boamah. And he did a fantastic presentation. That was the last time I saw him, and it's rather unfortunate that we lost such a fine brain in this tragic, accident. Dr. Sarpong, as our vice chair, I also work with him at the National Executive Committee level, and he was a very fine gentleman. He came to our region to do some reconciliation exercise, and you could see that he was so much vested with experience when it comes to arbitration and other things. So it's rather unfortunate that we lost these distinguished personalities in this tragic helicopter accident. It's a great loss to the nation, and we pray for their souls, and may the good Lord find a resting place for them. It's very painful.
And for the NDC as a party, how would you want to preserve their memory?
Their legacies we need to ensure that lives on, what they stood for in terms of, accountability, probity, and these are our core values, and we need to ensure that, we preserve these legacies, and as a party and as a government, it's a great loss to us, and we pray that we all use this moment to strengthen our national unity. We must come together as one nation, because recently when we had a vigil in the Volta region, the Sarki Zongo said something. Excuse me. What he said was that two personalities, these guys, some were Christians, some Muslims, and they were all in one helicopter, and there was an accident and we lost all of them. That should tell us that whether you are Christian, you are Muslim, we are one, we should be one. There should be.
We apologize, and that's the Volta Regional Minister sharing his thoughts on this matter. And as we wait for the funeral service to start, so you are preaching unity for both Christians and Muslims?
Yes, definitely, because there's one God that we all serve, and this nation should remain peaceful and united. That is when we can get a desired development that we are looking for. So let us unite. Let's ensure there is peace in this country. Let this tragic accident that claimed the lives of these personalities serves as a lesson to all of us. Let us excuse arrogance, let's be humble, let's serve God better, in our daily lives. Yeah.
Let me allow you to take your seats. The Volta Regional Minister, thank you so much for your talks here on joining. Let me cross over to Rosalind, who is also on the other side, as we bring you more mourners who are taking their seats for the state funeral.
The 8 gallant men who lost their lives in the line of duty. My name is Rosalind Felly, and this is Joy News. And so we are walking through the crowd. We'll be speaking to a few people who are here. Currently, we have the bodies which have been brought in. The Islamic prayers are also ongoing. Some dignitaries are coming in. Some family members have also taken their seats. And so we'll be speaking with a few of the people here. This is Joy News, and this is funeral for the 8 men who lost their lives in the line of duty during the helicopter crash. A week ago, we heard of the tragic incident where 8 men on their way to Obuasi in the fight against Galamsey lost their lives. The funeral is about to start. We have the bodies which have been brought in. And so we are going to be speaking with a few dignitaries here. So I'm here with Dr. Bukari Dramani, who is a Deputy CEO for NPA. Good morning, Doc.
Hello, good morning.
How are you today?
I'm okay by grace, thank you.
Thank you so much for permitting us to speak with you this morning. We know the mood is a solemn one. And when you heard of this news, if you don't mind me asking you, where were you?
Well, unfortunately, at the time I was out of town. I wasn't in Ghana. I had received a call from the Member of Parliament for Bali asking me to provide him with the contact information of the head of our family. It struck me, but he didn't tell me why he needed that. Then subsequently he said I should also provide the number of the widow of Honorable or the late Alhaji Muniru. Then I asked, what was this for? And then he said, there's a helicopter crash and Alhaji is involved. At that moment, I can't explain what I felt. It was traumatizing. But here we are. And I think the reality is now, it is what it is. We are comforted by the lives that they led. And we are comforted by the collectivism in terms of the nation that has characterized their send-off. It's our hope that they are resting in the highest places of heaven. And it's our hope that their legacy, or this country, will honor their memory by ensuring that we do things right. That the many things, including Galamsey, that is taking such very vibrant, noticeable, impactful life should be a thing of the past. Anything and everything has to be done. And all of us must put our shoulders to the wheel to ensure that this happens. It's the least we can do in their name. And it's not just with Galamsey. It's with all the other malpractices that we have in this country. All of those. And I am hopeful that this government will do exactly that. I am very confident. And I know that they will receive the support of the generality of the Ghanaian public. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and so that's Dr. Bukari, and he is the Deputy CEO for NPA who just spoke with us. We'll try and speak with more dignitaries, and he was moved to tears. It's a solemn atmosphere currently here at the Black Star Square. We have some family members who have taken their seats currently. We have the bodies that are here. We are still waiting for the president, and then we commence. But then we've had the Islamic prayers, which have started already. And there are more family members coming in. They are trooping in. More dignitaries trooping in as well. You're watching Joy News. My name is Roslyn Felly.